Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a quick Q&A session. Now, I'm sorry in advance if the audio quality sucks because it could be a bit echoey because I just moved into like a new place and it's not furnished yet, but hopefully it's gonna be improved in the future. So without any further ado, let's get into it. I put up an Instagram story where I asked you guys to ask questions. So if you're not following me on Instagram, then you can do it and follow me at Opra. So if you do that, I really appreciate it, and there you can get your questions answered probably a lot faster as well. But the first question is from Laurent, and it's, where do you see yourself 10 years later? So where do I see myself in 10 years basically? Well, it's a really hard question because I personally am not a huge fan of like thinking in super long terms, just because it's so hard to predict. Like, you know, nowadays with social media and everything, like everything changes basically in 2 and 5 year periods, let alone like 10 years. So I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years. Maybe the world is going to end by then. Let's hope not, but it could happen, to be honest. But if everything goes like ideally, I would like to see myself being an 8-figure entrepreneur, a net worth in the 8 figures, and also running like an amazing team and being a really good leader. I mean, at that point, I would be in business for like 14, 13 years, so I should be pretty decent at it by that point, or at least I should have some experience. So yeah, that's kind of like my business goal, I guess. And in terms of the more like personal stuff, it would be amazing if I would have a family by that point, maybe even some kids. But again, this is something that I cannot really control. Like, I don't really control whether I meet the love of my life or not in the next 10 years. Maybe I do, maybe I won't, but if it happens, then I would love to have some kids by that point, and maybe get married. So yeah, that's kind of where I see myself being, also being pretty jacked. I want to get the gym down and pretty dialed in by that point. But yeah, we will see. It's 10 years is definitely a long time. It's like more than half of my lifetime so far. The next question is from, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, they are pretty hard to pronounce. So the next name is from Vis, I guess, and he asked, how did you get started with social media marketing? So it's a good question. I have been around the social media marketing sphere for quite a while. It first started when I heard about affiliate marketing online, and when I was actually like 13 years old, 12 years old, I was trying to sell like weight loss teas from ClickBank, and just like posting my comments on random forums for weight loss for like pregnant moms and stuff like that. It was like a really weird thing. So that's, I guess, kind of like where I got introduced to making money online and like social media marketing when I first learned about affiliate marketing like 5 years ago at this point. Now, I personally didn't have like any success with that. And then from there, I heard about Shopify, and then I actually started my own brand, which was like a phone lens company. You guys remember when back then, when phones didn't have the wide angle lenses, there were those little like clippers that you could put on the phone and it would make the phone like wide angle. So I tried to sell those, didn't have much success with that either. I didn't make a single sale. But that was my second venture then at like 13, 14 years old. And then after that, I got more into filmmaking and first started freelancing. And then I heard more about like SMMA and agency and running an agency. And I tried the Facebook ad stuff, didn't really work out for me. I didn't enjoy it. And then I switched to more of a creative agency. And that's when things really started clicking for me. So that's kind of been my journey, I guess, with like social media marketing. And, also always did YouTube on the side. That's been my favorite thing so far, by far. But yeah, that's kind of my story with how I got started with social media marketing. Now, I'm Maddie asked, what are the best niches when starting out? Now, good question again. This is something that a lot of people ask when just starting out. Like, it can be really intimidating to choose a niche and to commit to one. So you are probably asking like, okay, so which is the best one to go for, right? But unfortunately, the thing is, there is no such thing as the best niche for everybody, because everybody, knows something different. Like, everybody's skill sets are different, everybody's interests are different. So I cannot really give you like, hey, this is the best niche. If you want to make a lot of money, just work with influencers or do e-com or whatever. Like, there isn't such a thing as a best niche, and you can make 7 figures, multi-6 figures in any niche, in my opinion, almost, because it's like the market is so big that even if you just get like a small chunk of it, you can still make multi-6 figures or 7 or multi-7 figures, So there isn't such a thing, in my opinion, as a best niche. It really comes down to what you enjoy and also what you have skill sets around. So personally with me, my agency, for example, works with personal brands and people who want to grow their presence and get more leads and sales to their info product or e-com business through YouTube. Now, the reason I went with that niche personally is because I loved YouTube. Like, that's been my passion since I was like 8 years old, and I really enjoyed working with influencers and people like that. And also I had skills already around like videography and editing and stuff like that. Now, if you don't have any skills, don't worry, you can still learn like any skill from ground zero. But I'm just saying, like, I think it makes sense to go with a niche that you are first of all interested in and passionate about, and also one that you have some skills around already that you can implement, or that requires a skill that you are willing to learn and that you are interested in learning, right? So whatever niche works for you, there isn't like just one niche that is like the ultimate solution to everybody. So that would be my answer to that. I'm sorry that I couldn't give you like one niche that will magically solve all your problems, but it's not that easy and not that simple, to be honest. Next question was by Razvan. How are you doing, bro? And he asked, what's the best camera I could get for a good price? Now, a good price is, I guess, pretty relative, like what's your budget? And to be honest, nowadays I'm not on top of the, filmmaking game as much, because I'm more so focused on, I'm not so much on top of like the gear game, like which cameras are the best nowadays. Because I'm just more focused on getting clients and getting my clients results, right? And learning how to get more clients online, and more focused on the sales side of things and the system side of things and building an actual business. But I guess if I had to give you some recommendations, under like $500, the Canon M50 is a pretty good solid choice if you are new to cameras. If you have like $1,000 to spend, I would go with the Canon RP. Which is like a really good beginner full frame camera, where you can get those amazing like blurry backgrounds. And I think it's a great camera overall. One of my friends has that and he loves it. And if you have like up to $2,000 to spend, I would go with like with like a Sony a7 III or like a Canon EOS R6 or something like that. And the lens that you pair with it really depends on what you want to use it for. So if you want to do like these kind of sit down videos, you want to go for something that's like a 25, 35 millimeter, maybe a 50 if you have a lot of space, and then something that has a pretty low aperture so you can get the nice blurry background. There is like so many choices you can go with. So if you guys are looking for like camera buying advice, I don't know if I'm the best person for that. I think Peter McKinnon makes some really amazing videos on just like gear, but I guess shoot me a DM and I will try to help to the best of my ability if you need advice in this space. And the last question we have is by Amir, and that is how to build a 10K agency in 6 months. Now, that is, again, a really good question, but the problem is, like, whenever you try to put like a cap, like a time cap on, I need to do this as soon as possible, and then if I don't get it, like, I'm just gonna quit it. Like, I don't think it's the right mentality to go into business. I mean, you just need to have some perspective on the thing you're asking for. Like, you are asking to build a business that makes 10K a month, which is like, in most countries, it's top 1%, even in the US, it's like top 10% income or whatever. So you're looking to get to basically the top of the income range, and you're looking to do it in 6 months without having like any prior experience, skills, or anything. Like, do you think that sounds reasonable? I don't think so, to be honest. Like, I don't know a lot of people who went from 0 to 10K a month in 6 months who never had any business experience. Now, I know some people who did go from 0 to 10K in like 6 months or even less, but they usually had like a couple years of experience and a couple years of trying before they broke through with that business. So what I would tell you is don't try to limit yourself with like a 6-month period. Like, I understand if you want to get there as soon as possible, it's completely normal. Like, trust me, I am super impatient with my goals and everything as well. But I think it's a good idea to understand, first of all, like how, like, even though in this entrepreneur space we have this super warped idea of money and we think like, millions are not a lot of money, but the truth is, like, it is like not a super small thing when you're just starting out. Like, it's not super easy to go from 0 to 10K. I think it's one of the hardest steps actually when building a business. So I would say give yourself more time. Don't be super impatient with it, because you want to be in it for the long game. Like, if your plan is just to make a couple $100,000 and then dip and then, I don't know, lay on a beach for the rest of your life, I don't think you can do it, to be honest. Because I think to get to 10K a month and more, you need to be committed to it. This needs to be something that you actually enjoy doing as well, and something that you want to do in the long term for, the next 20, 30, 50 years of your life. So I would say try to look at it from a different perspective. Don't limit yourself and focus more so on like the daily small improvements and breaking down your big goal and breaking it down to KPIs. Like, if you want to get to 10K a month, break it down to how many messages you need to send every month to get X amount of booked calls, to get X amount of show ups, to get X amount of clients from that. Like, calculate how much you charge on average for a service, and then figure out your numbers and focus on hitting the small daily KPIs, and that's going to eventually get you to your goal. But don't stress too much, I think, about getting to it as soon as possible, because if you are just super focused on the money side of it, it's just going to take longer than you want it to take. So try to be patient, even though it's hard, I know, but try to be patient and focus more so on the improvement and enjoying the actual journey, instead of just looking at the shiny big 10K per month mark. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more content like this, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the new videos. And also, if you are someone who wants to build a creative agency and take it from 0 to 6 figures a year, then go ahead and book in a call with me in the description below. I will get on a call with you personally to see if you are a good fit for my program, where I help you one-on-one to build your own agency, your own creative agency. And I'm looking forward to see you on the call potentially. Now, I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.